Hello and welcome to Creatives Like Us, where I speak with creatives of colour who share journeys and stories and ideas and how they can inspire and open up avenues in creative industries. I'm your host, graphic designer Angela Lyons, and with the help of my guests, I will bring you insightful interviews and compelling stories that can inspire you to think about things differently or shape your next move. Being a creative of colour can bring its challenges, highs and lows and in-betweens. But this podcast is about amplifying our voices and celebrating together. So, are you ready? Let's get started with Creatives Like Us. Hi, and welcome to the Creatives Like Us podcast. And today I'm here with David Oku, a freelance illustrator and animator. And I'm so honoured that he's here today with me. And he's such a wonderful guy that he's agreed to be here. So over to you, David. Tell me a little bit about you and what you do.
Hello, Angela. So my name for everyone is David Oku. I'm a digital illustrator. I would define myself like an illustrator / animator at the moment. And I'm based here in London. I'm in Battersea. And yeah, that's pretty much what I do as a job title, I would say.
Brilliant. And if you don't know, go and check out David's artwork on his Instagram because it is just absolutely amazing and it's just so colourful. And as you guys know, I love colour. So please go and check him out. But David, how did you start? Can you tell us about how you started in your career?
I think since a very early age, I've always known that I love doing illustration, at least drawing, I would say. I didn't know back then if I would become an illustrator or what I would do with my craft, but I started very early, like drawing and scribbling all around the house. Anything that was blank will become like a battlefield of pen, markers, crayons, and anything. So I don't know. I just feel like I had this mega passion since a kid. And the older I get, I always dream about using that craft in the future and letting it become some kind of a job for me. And I started noticing when I was in high school that whatever I will do with art competition and things like that, I will be winning a lot of times. And people will be like, wow, you're really good in that. But I used to just copy art, draw what I see. And then after high school, I discovered, a passion for graphic design. And funny enough, one of my teachers back then in the course in the secondary education, he was teaching informatics, so like computer science and things like that. And he introduced me to actually the world of Adobe. He's the first person that actually saw talent in me before I knew what I will do with my craft. He actually hired me while I was still in school. So I used to go to school, but I had a part-time job by my teacher. And I don't know, he just let me work. And when I started working by him, I started discovering Photoshop, Illustrator, After Effects. But I wasn't great at it. I just knew the existence of the program. And I was
It's a start though, isn't it? It's a start.
Yeah. I would say a transition from drawing by hand, not knowing what you do, and then you actually start doing things on the computer. And I don't know, you try to morph into what you do traditionally into something digital. You try to morph that. But at the same time, back then, I didn't really know what was my strongest tool to use, I would say.
I was just going to say, it's so good that a teacher actually encouraged you to do that because sometimes like kids at school, they can get down that wrong path or someone tells them the wrong word or the wrong line and they just completely change. But that teacher sounds amazing.
Luckily, me as a person, I've been I would say a lot of people didn't believe in me in terms of my whole journey till today. But I have to say there have always been like those 2-3 people that put a lot of trust in my hands. And I think one of the first one was my teacher, and he let me realize, wow, that's actually something I can do and I'm good at it. But I didn't really consider it like my final stage because I wasn't really interested in being a graphic designer. But thanks to that job, he actually, I don't know, I just feel like it was something extra I could learn and maybe use then my skill in a second stage of my life. I never finished my education because unfortunately life happened. I had, I would say, tragedy happening from my parents' side. So I lost my father very early.
Sorry.
And
sorry to hear.
And don't worry. He lives in me. So he's always in me, everything I do. But when that happened, I stopped working for my teacher. I had to go to a retail job, just make money to support my mom and we have 4 boys at home. So it was very hard sometimes deciding career over making money to help at home, So that pushed me a little bit out of that that zone. But then I don't know. I started working in retail. I ended up in a streetwear clothing brand, and they did a lot of hip hop nights back then in the days. So I started saying, you know what? Wow,
Cool.
you do hip hop nights. I do graphic design. I can do your flyers. I can do this. I can do logos. And I don't know. So every place I've been, I've always sold myself as an illustrator, as a graphic designer. So it's funny because every time I ended up in a job, I always end up doing either some graphic design for them or I will do some art customization for them, doing flyers, photography. I don't know. Even if I wasn't a photographer, I just had the camera. I went out, I
Yeah.
took
Why not
pictures.
go for it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
when they say fake it till you make it. So it's
Exactly. Just
weird
keep
to
going.
say fake. I just had this drive of, I want to learn, I want to learn. But I literally went out, I did it. And that kind of always, every time I go out, even if I'm not in my comfort zone, I always come back home with a kind of an additional experience that I put then
Yeah.
into my work or for future projects. After that, for a couple of years doing that job with clubs and all that stuff, I met my partner. She's Eritrean, but she was born and raised in the Netherlands. When I met her, actually, we really had this dream about going to London. She had been in London earlier. I fell in love in London when I went in holiday. So we just decided, you know what, it's time for me to make a change in life. I was really tired of Italy because Italy started feeling like when you try to do your best, but no matter how much you do, you never go nowhere because it almost feels like it's not allowed. As a foreigner, it's very hard in Italy. And being of color
Hmm.
also is something like, I don't know, it almost feels like they don't give you trust. Or when they see you immediately, they always judge a book by the cover and not for the potential that book have.
Mm.
It came to a time that I literally said, you know what? Let's just move to London. Let's see what we can get out of London. Let's try something new. And I don't know, when I came to London,
Hmm.
I've never finished my education back in Italy, but I find out that here you had a foundation degree. And I literally jump
Yes.
on it
Hmm.
because my fiance said, listen, you always wanted to get your degree and your papers. Why don't you do a short foundation degree? Like, you trust me, you can do it. At the beginning, I started laughing at
Mm.
her because I didn't really, after
Did you not
8 years
believe
of
you
not
could do it?
studying. No, I was out from 8 years. When you are out from education
Yeah.
from 8 years, it's very hard to go back and say, it's just weird. You feel you are very older and you go in
Yeah. And you
education and
see
you
all
have
these
all
younger
the
people around
children
you.
around you. Yeah, yeah. So it just felt weird at the time. But you know what?
Yeah.
Because she believed so much in me and she was like, trust me, just do it, go with it. I just said one day, you know what?
Oh, it's amazing.
Let's try it. I walked in, and it's funny because it was exactly how I imagined. I was one of the oldest, and was other two guys my same age that became my best friends. But I think that
Wow.
going to a new course, a university at such a later stage in life, in a kind of way was better for me because I already knew what I wanted to
You
become.
I was actually interested to find out what the course was. You said it was a foundation, and where was it? Because obviously
Um,
London's got a lot of art schools and lots of
yeah,
courses. It'd be interesting to find out what course you actually
so
took after all the
it
experience that
was
you had.
UAL, University of Arts, and I was in the London
Oh,
College of
amazing.
Communication in Elephant and Castle.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's an amazing facility. When I walked in the first day, I couldn't believe. I don't know. I had a shock because in Italy you have a lot of Italian going to school like this, but when I went to London, it was very different. I saw Asian, black, brown, everything. I was just like, wow, it felt like walking into this multi-ethnic room full of people from everywhere. And I was literally like,
Brilliant.
wow, it's actually quite cool. It's the first time I just feel like a number. I just don't feel different. There's a lot of people like me. So that was the first
Yeah,
time
yeah.
I actually had this. I don't know. You think with yourself, when you move to another country, you always expect good things and bad things. And I think when I came here, I was afraid to start the course. But then when I walked into the doors and I see a lot of people like me, there was older people, younger people. I don't know. It put me at ease with myself. So when I
Yeah,
walked in, I really
yeah.
embraced the place. And yeah,
Great.
going back to the course, it was like graphic design and graphic communication. But one thing that I've noticed is obviously by being older, my approach to it was very different because a lot of people on the course was still finding who they wanted to become or what they wanted to do with design. Some people was even there, they
Hmm.
didn't even know if they wanted to become designer, they just choose the course. Rather me, I knew what I wanted, but at the same time, I was like, wow, this is graphic communication. This guy do animation. This guy do 3D. This guy do this. What I did is I embrace everything and learn from everyone. And literally, I work with one guy today, the other guy tomorrow, and I absorb from them and they absorb from me. So it's almost like collaboration.
Sharing, collaboration and sharing. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, because I feel when I was a graphic designer, I know I didn't want to do it and I wanted to become an illustrator. But then the older I started getting, I was always pushing myself, how is a way to actually in the future to get more jobs and survive by being freelance? Because in the meantime that I was here in London, I did more than 12 years of retail that a lot of people don't know. Like I did more than 12 years in retail shops. And then in the evening, I will come back home. I will have some small graphic design job. So I will always juggle between part-time job, school, and freelance work. I never felt like there was a stability for me. So what I did is I started learning a little bit of, how do you call it, layout and InDesign. I learned how to use a bit of After Effects. I play around with so many things and I ask people, can you teach me how to do that? I just start to put things together so that in the future, like my idea was, if anybody approach me, I don't need nobody. I can manage everything by myself because
that's powerful.
It's powerful. It's not easy because you can't, what I think you can be 100% only in one craft, not in all crafts. You have always mine is illustration. But illustration can relate back to graphic design. Illustration can be making a vector graphic that animates in After Effects, web templates. So what I said is, you know what? I will focus on illustration, but then attach all this little extra thing that normally a studio will divide the job. The animator will take this, the illustrator should do this. I find a way of learning a little bit of everything. So whatever will be thrown at me, I will have a little bit of confidence to take the project and say, I will do it. And I don't know, finish university, I felt like I had everything in my hands ready to explode, work for this, work for that. But then I had another tragedy. I lost my second parent.
Sorry.
So
man, so
in life, sometimes I feel like when I'm supposed to grow, something will happen and not that you fall again, but it's almost like every time something great happens, something tests you and you do 15 step forward, then you go 10 backward. And I think in that moment, it was my moment to shine, but something happened. It threw me a little bit off guard, a little bit off, to be honest. But then I don't know. I just, when that happened, I felt the need at every cost. I need to do something for myself because it motivates me as well because it was hard for me to go and do internships and things like that. So I said, you know what? Instead of looking for internship or trying to get with the client you want, focus on your craft and try to bring your craft at the level that will make you not content, but at least happy. So when I see my work, I'm happy, but I'm never satisfied about it's an artistic thing. The artist will never be happy of their own personal work. Even now, it's because I think every artist is their own worst critic because we know the limit of what we do and we know we could do it better. We know we can improve it. So you always have this. I think when that day will come, I can be proud of a project to be like, wow, I'm very proud of this one. But I can't say everything I see of me, I would like to redo. It's a weird thing, but it's
because looking at your portfolio, it just looks like it's all perfect. It just looks excellent, and I just think, how could you improve on it? It just looks great. The pieces that you produce,
but it's you seeing it from outside. Rather, when you're in my world and you draw every day, you get bored easily. That's why I draw so much because I feel like the more you draw, the more you become consistent. You get bolder with your style, but at the same time, when you do something too much, if you keep on drawing, it might push you in a different new direction that is cooler than your old style, if it makes sense. So I'm just in the research of what's next all the time. And sometimes when you do it too much, you just get bored of it. So you try to find different mediums to make it more interesting, It's very still. I want to move it. Let's move it. Let's do the animation. But animation
Yeah.
doesn't make me happy. I want to do it in 3D. So
Yeah.
it's just playing around. And I think the more you do, you capture a lot of attention from clients and people around
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. A lot of, because I was looking at your portfolio and a lot of your work, you have quite big clients, it looks like. And you're saying, and how do you balance that with personal projects? Do you have time for many personal projects as well as the big clients that, or is it mainly all work
I
now
would
for you?
say,
Or
I
because
would
you
say
sound like you want to
sacrifice.
experiment quite a lot.
Yeah, but I do. And I would say sacrifice is all I can say. I think the right word is sacrifice. And when I say sacrifice, is we are young ones. And I have a little kid right now. Is sometimes people ask me, David, how do you manage everything together? Routine, discipline, and sacrifice. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason why I say so is I've worked 9 to 5. I've worked for people that didn't respect me. I work for people that just take advantage of my talent. And by working by myself, I really found peace and pleasure. But the funny thing is to maintain that consistency and having always work coming in, you have to sacrifice time that you might go out and drink and stuff to do something. If you look at me, my life, if I don't draw one day, I really feel bad. People say, my fiance, she's the love of my life. My kid is the love of my life. Yeah. And my drawing is also the love of my life. And if I don't do it,
Wow.
my body will feel bad.
Really?
It's weird
Wow.
to say it
Wow.
because it's I don't know how to say it. If there is something that you do, I call my drawing a
It's a
gift, you know.
passion.
I feel like if I don't nurture it, it's not fair it's not fair for me to have that gift. It's a weird thing to
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
but how many people have the occasion to have something that they are truly blessed and natural at from when they are kids? If you see a lot of people like my
Yeah.
brother, sometimes they struggle because they have beautiful ideas, they have a lot of talent in many other things, but they still don't know what they want to be in the future. And
Right.
sometimes you have to
Right.
do this job, that job, jump,
Yeah.
try something new. Rather, me, since a kid, I knew that was my thing. So that's why I feel
That
like
was your thing. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not just a passion, but it's a gift. And if you don't work on that gift, it's almost wow, you're wasting something that is it belong that they gave you. I don't, I don't know. That's the
Yeah,
feeling
yeah,
I
yeah,
have.
yeah. I
I
suppose
believe,
it'd be some people would say the divine being would give it to you, but yeah, it's a gift that's been
yeah,
that you own it. You own it. It's yours,
yeah,
and it's a passion, and it's you've actually also made money from it. It's your business.
yeah.
How did you get started with making the that side of your drawing work for you to make a business out of it? And when you thought, this is it, I've made it, and I don't need to go into retail anymore. I've made enough money now to do this full time.
I think when it comes to making enough money to live a job, I'm doing well, but I still feel you never know what tomorrow has for you. So I
Mm,
feel like
mm, mm.
I'm not at that stage that I can just say, okay, let me be chill. As a freelancer, you never chill because you can be
You're never chill.
no, you can be trendy for 1, 2 years, huh? But if that is your specific
Hmm.
style, if something doesn't change, you might die out. So everybody wants you when it's very cool, and when that trend is over, you might not survive it. That's
That's
what I
true.
mean with.
Hmm.
That's what I mean. That is the money part for me. I started. I can tell you a difference of how it was before and how is now. I think that is. It will make your mind a little bit clearer on how I changed in life. When I started,
Hmm.
I used to work like for literally everyone. And I was, do you know how to do graphic design? Do you know I can do logos? Do you know I can do website? I was selling myself so much that I will bring so much work at home. But at the end of the day, I will have made £200, but I did 100 logos. I did the whole website design.
Wow.
And it's funny because you're saying, wow, but for me at the time, I was like, oh, they're believing in me. Let me do it. Let me do it. I wanted
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
much to get where I wanted to be, but I didn't understand. That's the difference. I didn't understand what my value was. When I say the word value, a lot of people out there, it's good to have that step that you underestimate yourself. You sell yourself cheap for the first project. It's good that, okay, I'm not going to take money because they're going to give me exposure. that is a big company. So if they use my work, they're going to promote me to other people. In the mind of a designer at the first stages, that is always something that is in your mind. It's like a pot bubbling all the time. Oh my God, they're going to push me
Yeah.
here. They're going to bring me here. But because of that, sometimes you go in a mode like, they got me, they got me. But in reality, nobody got you. They know you, what you're worth, and they abuse you because they know they can get something very cheap from you, knowing that you will give them something great back. You give them a great job, big company, but then from that exposure, nothing come back to you. In reality, who got something for free and didn't get nothing, give nothing back? You understand what I mean? So it's,
Yeah,
um,
totally.
and it's not wrong, it's right, but then depends if that person actually would then look after you in the future or say, you know what, you did a great project, we want to bring you on board on this one, maybe we can figure out if we can pay you something. I believe in that.
Just
If
the
we work
callback. Yeah.
together, I can do you something free. The next time you come, you're like, you know what, David, I respect your work, I'll give you 50 the next time. And if you grow with me, why not let me earn more? Start
Yeah.
understanding. But then let's say by year, I went from cheap to less cheap to less cheap till I start being, I'm not going to take this project. Because I started finding out that when you used to go for a cheap project, you will always come back with so much headaches. I want to change this.
Headache.
I want to
Yeah.
move this here. I want the different colors. Can you please be here at 5 o'clock? I find like when it used to be cheap, I would be so tormented every day working, and I put so much effort in it. And then I would be like, guys, but if you go outside to somebody, you paying me 50 quid. People pay thousands for this, and you making me crazy for 50 quid. Then I start saying, you know what? From tomorrow onwards, I will not take projects like this anymore because it's not for me. When I start saying
Yeah.
no to a project like this, and just saying yes to a project that I wanted to take, sounds weird, but everything changed for me. Every
Did it just
project was a
switch?
good project. It just switched
Yeah.
because what
Made
is
that
the thing? A
switch.
lot of
You made that switch. Yeah.
but I took a risk because and that's why I wanted to say risk is something. Taking risk sometimes is good because it's not always great. So you need to pay your bills, but sometimes in life you have to take risk because I think the longer journey is more important than the shorter journey. Because a lot of people, what is the thing? Because they need to pay rent, they are like Hoovers that just take everything in. I know,
Yeah.
but it's 50 quid, but I need it, man. I need. It's funny. I've been there too. So it's nothing to
Yeah.
be ashamed
I've
of.
been there
But
too. I've been there. Nothing to be ashamed of. I think we've
it's
pretty
a
much, if we're
learning
all
curve.
starting out somewhere, it's learning. When no one's going to give us we don't know. And that's another thing. When you're at school or at uni or college, no one really gives you the business acumen. That's
Thank
hopefully they're
you.
building that into courses now. But like we're starting out. Yeah, I do, as you said, I'll do that logo 50 quid. And now if I design something like that is not 50 quid anymore.
Exactly.
Like
But
a lot more
because
had
now
to.
you're putting the value on yourself.
Exactly. And I've got my experience, and like such as yourself, you're putting a value on yourself and you also have that experience behind you. And also when a client's trying it, they were
Yeah.
trying it. They were just trying to get
Yeah.
as much value out of you at that time.
I used to be an art director for Creams, the ice cream parlor. You remember Creams?
Yeah. I saw that.
I
Yeah, I
used to
saw
be
that.
the
Did you design their
art,
logo?
not the logo, but I came in a moment that they wanted to rebrand the whole company. And back then they had
Right.
86 shops. So most of the new shops are still inspired from my older design that I did for
Oh,
them.
wow.
So like the
Yeah.
skateboards, and at least the idea of the vision is something that I sketched with them when I was working for them. But even there is never, how do you say it? Talk bad about my clients because it's I don't know, it's just not
No,
good.
but it's a
Every
respect
person
thing.
have a different
Yeah. No.
experience. Is and then but what I wanted to say is even back then I was an art director and we had a marketing director, and we always I don't want to say fight, but we always had a head to head because as an art director doing the work, like I didn't have a team, so I used to do my graphic design. I was art directing but also doing the all the work. But to be in that position, when you have a meeting, I need to be there. When you make decision on certain things, I need to be there. When you discuss something, because I'm the guy just doing the work, but I also need to give suggestion of what work or what not work, because how can you tell a designer what to do if you don't really have an eye of a designer, or if you're too old compared to your target audience. You can't really,
Yeah.
it's a
You can't
balance
relay
thing.
that.
And
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
then, I just used to take it, do the job, stress, whatever. But nowadays, if I will walk into a room, if you invite me to do a job or whatever, but you wouldn't consider me, I will just walk out the room. Because as I'm listening to you, it's important that you value me as well. Because if you bring me on board on a
Hmm.
project, you cannot just leave me on the outside and let me do anything you want, because you hire me to give you a vision, but then I'm there, I'm talented, and you just want to bring your vision on me without having anything to say about it, if it makes sense.
Hmm.
But
That does make sense. So without your input, yeah, no, it's good that you're part of it and you have to be part of it. It's important.
but you,
Otherwise, it
but
could
you
just
see, even
go
in a
array.
yeah, but even in a bad scenario, what I take out of that job experience is I became very fast in the way I think, in the way I produce. Having 86 shop all under you and everybody will want something different. It literally helped
So is it
me
quite rapid, quick
not wasting
turnover?
time. Yeah, just
Yeah,
do think.
yeah.
So that is a great thing. I don't experience a lot of people struggle with creative blockage.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
don't.
creative block. Yeah, yeah. You don't. Wow,
I
that's
don't.
another powerful.
I maybe have the day that I'm like, I don't know, I don't want to draw today. Or okay, I draw
Hmm.
something, but it's boring. But I'm always able to create something in the good days and the bad days. That is one positive thing that I get out of the job. But
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
going back to value, after making my prizes and starting to say no to projects, I got called by an agent, illustration agent. That is the first time in my career that I thought I was charging good to clients. But then when I met my
Hmm.
agent in the UK, I understand
Mm.
I was charging peanuts compared to what they
Wow.
was charging. And now that I'm with the company, now that I have my agent from LA, is even worse than
Yeah.
before. And I feel like
You see the money, it's like, oh my gosh, all this
no,
money.
it's not. No, but because it's not all that money actually. It's just that's the fair money. Because you know what is the thing? You don't have an idea of how powerful you can do a little design, but that design will bring millions for a company. And imagine if a company made
Yeah.
millions and they just give you 50 quid. Do you think that is fair?
Yeah. Yeah.
Go
Do
for
you
it.
remember that with a
Remember
Nike
what?
logo?
Is the greatest
Yeah.
example. But don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Nike, they got so big. If it was me, I
Mm.
would go back to that person and I'll say, man, you know what? Wow, you gave me a fortune. This is for you. This is a gift for you. You know why? Because it's
I think they know they did give her they did remunerate her. They did give her some money. They gave her quite a lot actually.
and
I think
oh,
her
okay.
case was
I
yeah,
didn't
no,
know
no.
that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
know that. That's right.
Yeah,
That's
she
right.
yeah, for the listeners, she was working for Nike in the I think in the design department, and somebody came up to her, the art director said, "Can you design this logo for the shoe?" And so she came up with a tick, and obviously we all know what the Nike tick looks like. I think she was an intern, maybe. The art director was like, "Oh, this will never work," but they approved it, and Nike loved it. And then years later, her story was told again in the
You
media, and I
see,
think Nike actually came up to her and gave her the money because it was.
that's the fairest thing. That's the best thing they ever done. I didn't even know that they gave her money, but it's just
Yeah, they
because I
did.
feel
Yeah.
like there are so many stories like her, but they just ignore that. Because remember, I feel like
Mm,
certain companies always start with a good heart, but when they become so big, they forget where they come from. And
mm.
yeah, but I'm glad that they paid, because me, an
Yeah,
example, I've worked with projects for friends. We had an idea. It happened to me that I did a logo for a company that actually became quite big. I won't say who or whatever.
okay.
No, but don't get me wrong. There's no money involved. It was just a friendship things. We said, you know what, he said, you know what, I will give you 100 just because for the work. Thank you very much. Blah blah blah. But this thing went so big. Okay, in a different country, whatever. That's fine. But when it became so big, I didn't expect money, but I was more like, you know what? Now that you have a great movement, great clients, good people that have enough money to get some services by me, push for me. No, I
Hmm.
always say this: I'm not in for the money, but I'm more for fairness, growth, and work together. If I work with you, yeah, and I know you're specialized in something, I will push you before myself. because I'm not confident to take that
Wow.
work. So why do
Mm.
something just to take the money when I know there's somebody else that is so great in it and they will smash it? I don't know how to say it. I want the people that I respect to shine as much as I shine. If I shine, they must shine too. And when this thing happened, I was quite disappointed because they used to give me credit at the very beginning, just when the show finished. They write a little mark, oh, David did it. But when you are there and you work with so many artists and so many people that might need my work, why don't you push for me? I find that selfish because I'm not mad about it. I'm over it. But it's just certain times people disappoint you because I always feel like that should be fair. If you grow and you
Yeah.
become
But that's
massive,
because it sounds like you're a very kind person too, and you've got a good,
yeah, but
it
can I
sounds
be
like.
honest? Why not be? It's a lot of people. I feel
I
like
know.
sometimes I live in a world where everybody is a shark, and I'm not a shark. I'm just, I don't know how to say it. What is fair? And don't get me wrong, even if today I believe in karma, I don't know if you do, but karma is
I do believe in karma. Yeah,
my
I
whole
do.
life,
I do.
karma. When everything around me is like people that do like this, they won't last forever. But why? I just ask myself why. You can be great to people and
Yeah.
that person will be great to someone else. It's like a chain. So
Yeah. It's a
if you
chain
stop
reaction,
that,
isn't it? Yeah.
you understand what I mean?
Yeah, of
I don't
course.
know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you know what? That's one of my, no, honestly, that is one of my beliefs, and my beliefs is to be kind. And I think that's one of the reasons why I did this podcast, because I wanted people to hear different stories from different people, especially being of color, black, brown skins, because
Yeah.
it is hard for us to get certain things. And somebody's always given me a chance, always like, giving me the next step. And I just think I would like that if somebody was listening to this and they thought, oh, maybe I'll do something kind out of this. And that will be the karma that we're passing on. And
Yeah.
that's what I believe. I'm
And
not just saying this through this
I love,
podcast. It's pretty much my way of life.
but I loved what you said. There will always be someone that will open that little gap for you. And don't get me wrong, that little fact, for them is little at the time. But what it opens up for you is something massive. And that's what I think a lot of. I remember when I went to the Adobe event, I said this thing of work together, collaborate together, and grow together. Because a lot of times I feel like when I was in uni, I won't lie, I wasn't the perfect kid. I was smoking and stuff like that. So like a lot of time
Oh, I'm sure
people
we all
didn't
were.
take me.
Don't worry
Oh
about
yeah,
it.
don't worry. Like I don't smoke anymore. Back then I was that hippie guy,
Neither
you
do
know.
I.
And a lot of people always judge me. I think they don't say it, but they always judge me for that guy. I don't know, a stoner guy like that. I feel like maybe that's the reason why not a lot of people wanted to work with me. But then if you look at the people that have always worked with me, I can mention you their name because they're my besties. There's a guy from Hungary called Andras Chuka. There's another guy in India called Anirudh Mehta. If you see them today, Ani is wow. In India, he exploded. He's one of the best designers in India. You should actually check him.
Wow.
The big fat
Please, after
minimalist.
this, give me his link, and we'll
Yeah,
connect him in the show notes so people can check him out.
and
Yeah, definitely.
but we was people. We was older. A lot of time people didn't work with us, so we ended up always working together. But if you see the fact that we always work together, there was so much love, we put so much effort in everything we do. We all have the same drive. And at the end of the career of the school, we all had great experience. Now I can call Ani. He
Wow.
worked for Nike, Facebook, Google. You name anybody that has a business in India, he worked with them. And when I talk
Really?
to him, I
Wow.
don't talk to him like a superstar. I talk to him like the same Ani he was in university. He kept it humble. He've worked with a lot of people. He've always pushed other people. And for some reason, even if your life is hard, it will bring you back to the path you belong to. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
So it's
Wow.
if it's meant to
Wow.
be, it's meant to be. But you have to. I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
you have
That's
to.
quite powerful to say that. Yeah. Yeah.
And then, yeah, I think the only
Yeah.
other thing I can say, all this journey, understanding your value, and I will always say being of color is very hard, as you said. And I think don't get me wrong, I always try to avoid talking about racism because I just feel like it's such a big part of our daily life. And it's funny because I feel like racism is still here today, but it's just not spoken about, or it's just hidden by around kind courtesy. Hello, my dear. But when you come to something a bit intimate, you understand it's not like it feels, because it feels great, it feels okay, it feels not racism, it feels, but it's all there are good people out there, don't get me wrong, huh? But I always feel
Yeah.
like when you're of color, it always takes you 70 times more than others. You always have to be the best.
Yeah.
You always have to show
Yeah.
that you're on point. You always have to be in this certain manner. And in my mind, sometimes I'm just like, that's why I focus on my craft, because once my work got so strong, nobody judged me. And it's simply
Yeah.
because I don't need to talk. You understand what I mean? So
The work is
before I
talking
had
for
to
you.
be,
Your work is talking
thank
for
you.
you. Yeah.
Thank you. Because
Yeah. That's
because I
it.
feel like before I used to explain myself so much. I'm a graphic designer. I do this. Please look at that. Please look
Uh,
at this. Now sometimes I'm like, oh, what do you do? Oh, I'm an illustrator. And people look at me like, ah. But that doesn't mean, oh, great. They're always like, oh, what do you do? They don't really, they think, he might draw comics, he might do illustrative, but
yeah.
then they see the work and they're like, wow, oh, but you work for,
Wow. So you are you're
but you work for, wow, that's amazing. But then I want to follow you. Can you give me your card? Can you give me this? But why aren't you excited before? You look at me, you look at the book tells you something. When I meet people, it's weird because I'm mixed. So I experience racism. Not, I won't say on both sides, but I feel like I experience racism as a colored person. And then sometimes because I'm a mixed race, I don't always fit everywhere. I fit everywhere for myself, but I don't really, I'm considered, oh, you're too light here. Your mom is Italian. You don't
mm.
understand. You're 50-50.
Yeah, I think I get it's that continuous identity. Are you this or are you that? And people are looking at you at
I know
face,
what I
as
am.
you said, you know what you are. You're David, and you
Yeah.
know who you are, and you know
Yeah.
what you do, and who you love, and what you are in this world. But people, as you said, like face value, when people see you straight up, like for first time,
Yeah.
the judgment is there. The judgment's there. I
Yeah.
could be like, this is honestly no word of a lie. I've been in a night out with some friends, and it was a group of us girls, black ladies, and we're all professionals, and we were coming back from a dinner, and we got a cab. The first cab actually looked at us and drove on. I was like, okay. And then the
Yeah.
second cab, we had to go to another cab station. And when we were in the cab station, there was these ladies there, and they were white. And they went up to my friend and they basically said, what are you, a social worker? You look like a social worker. My mum's got lots of, we know social workers. And I was like, she's not a social worker. You're
Right.
judging because you think we
Yeah.
look a certain way
Yeah.
and our careers are going to be a certain thing. And my friend was
Yeah.
not a social worker. And then it's the same when I tell people I'm a graphic designer and work with branding, they look at me and go,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's like that. Oh,
I
and
find
I've
I
made a
find it
career out
funny.
of it. It's so
It's
weird. It's
funny.
so weird
It's
sometimes.
funny. Stories like yours, like assumption, is people don't get that they can be quite offensive in terms of. I'm born in Germany, but then I moved to Nigeria when I was 3, and I left Nigeria when I was 12, and I came to Italy
Hmm.
first time again in Europe as a teenager. It's weird how I speak all the languages, yeah. So when I speak
Yeah.
Italian
Hmm.
in London, and some Italian people see me, they're like, "Wow, come,
Mm.
he speak Italian." And in my mind, I'm like, there's a lot of foreigners in Italy, but they don't really come on. There are black people everywhere in the world, right? Right now,
In the
there's
world.
black
Yeah.
people almost everywhere, but people are still
Yeah.
surprised, like, oh, wow. And the funny thing is, one thing that I don't understand is obviously I'm heavy into black culture, okay? Because I grew up with my black friends, my black people. I've been in Africa. So I'm really proud to say I'm black, yeah? But the fact that I'm mixed, my mom being, I always say my mom is my heart, my father is my
Yeah.
strength. Okay. Because my
Wow.
mom, even if she was European, she moved out of Europe to go and live by herself in Africa, by herself, no family around her. It was so difficult for her because as soon as she would come, people would be like, look at this Western woman. She come here, she now they take the husband here in Nigeria. Like, everybody,
Yeah.
there's, but don't get me wrong, it's not racism. I think it's a problem about history, okay? because they have been
Yeah.
abused because of the colonies, because so there's this assumption, the white person came here. But my mom, if you met her, everything she did with love. And my mom fought so many battles for a mixed race child than anybody else. We will be sitting on a train. People will come on us and push us down on the chair. You can't be here. And my mom will say, why can't they not be
What?
here? Madam, and they will be like, Madam, please mind your business. These foreigners have to understand. They say, foreigners who? These are my kids. And people will always be shocked I experienced so many of this kind of, I don't know how to say it. That's why if you see
Prejudice
my style came from black and
and
white,
racism.
because my whole life is black and white, because it's truly my whole life has been black and white. It's funny to say that. That's why sometimes, because I'm mixed, I fit everywhere. And
Yeah.
I never judge somebody for how they look, because I know as soon as you're alone with that person and you share a moment, we are the same people. I'm an artist. You might be
Exactly.
something else.
Yeah.
So why
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
putting this, oh my God, you don't need that. Because if the world will be a place
Yeah.
where everybody just come together and share knowledge,
Yeah.
we will grow all together
Yeah.
and we will not be
Oh,
struggling right now. You know what I mean? So that's the world I want. But unfortunately, today, that's not the world. It's always a world where you need to be careful who you surround yourself by and pay attention to sometimes to the people that, I don't know how to say it. I think my circle is very small, but not because I want it small, but I surround myself of people that elevate each other.
yeah.
Always. If you see most of my friends, anything they want to do, I believe in everybody that is with me. You know why? Because I
Yeah.
believe in them, they believe in themselves, and we do it all together. So that's the world I would love to
That's
live in. But it's
you're actually
hard, though.
testament to that. It's hard, but it's small steps. And that's even like testament for you to come when I actually met you at Adobe, the Create event. And afterwards you took time and spoke to me and I said, I'm starting a podcast. I didn't even tell you, I told you a little bit about what it was about. And you just said straight away, went, yeah, okay, I'll come on. And I was like, okay,
No,
what?
you don't believe me, but when I say this, you're doing something. So when you do something, and don't get me wrong, I think for you was more the factor of Black creative that was very touching for me in general. But in general, like whoever does something good, I always believe in them, because you know what is the thing? You didn't eat today with me, but tomorrow you might have a young one that says this and says, you know what? I was on the same path, but he's actually right. Let me do my thing. Because nowadays the problem
Yeah,
is like a lot of young people are not, there's so much thrown at them that they lose confidence in themselves, even if they know is the right. Look, London, as example. You're born and raised in London, or?
I am. I was born and raised in East London. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. When I came in London the first time, one thing that I noticed is, especially Easter, South, back, the youth have a big problem in England for me, because I come from outside. So I never really experienced that. I had my childhood in Africa, but in Africa it's very disciplined. But when I came here, I find that the kids have everything, but they just struggle so much. And tell me if I'm lying, huh? But I think there
Yeah.
can be so many talented Black kids in the UK, but for some reason, they lose themselves when they're outside. They lose themselves with
Yeah,
gang life.
yeah.
They lose themselves. And I don't think that if you speak to them individually, each of them have a dream. Each of them has a talent. Each of them have a heart. Each of them has a mind. And I don't want to say bad things about gang life or whatever, but I just feel like if it's like this, means there's something obstaculating them to believe in this is me, that's what I want to be.
Yeah.
It always feels like they have to wear the shoes of someone else. I don't know how to say it, to make a testament. I don't know how to word
Yeah.
it,
And it's to
but it's
show
almost feel
yeah,
like
it's that's the right wording. Yeah.
it feels like when they're at
That
home
makes
with your
sense.
parents, they're one thing. I believe in music, and then when they're
Yeah.
outside, they have to be hard because
It's
they have to
bravado.
follow.
It's bravado.
That's okay.
Yeah. It's
I
yeah.
don't know how to
Yeah.
word it, so I think it's
No, no,
that the
no. But
word.
yeah, no, because when they meet when they meet their friends or their other peers, there's this certain like element that they have to do something either to
Yeah,
prove themselves or to actually,
and don't get me wrong.
look like they're yeah.
I feel like that is a waste for a lot of
It
talented
is.
kids
It's
here,
such a sad
because
waste. Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, if you give them the opportunity to say you can be who you want to be and you will be a superstar,
Mm,
from today till tomorrow, everything will change because they will believe in
mm.
themselves. And there's a big problem with young culture right now. You need to give them something to believe in because it's tough. It's very tough.
It's tough. It's really tough. And the thing is with belief, I think that you've got, obviously what your story is and your journey, you've always had a belief. And the thing is, but that belief has taken time. And I think a lot of the kids
Yeah,
nowadays, but this is just me. And because I have children myself and teenagers, I've got
yeah.
two teenagers, and a lot of the things, not from them particularly, but from things around and what I hear, I think they want things
Hmm.
quickly. They don't want to do that
Yeah,
work. That's
yeah,
the
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And it's about the work, and it's also about the belief that it can happen, but it can't be
Hmm.
instant. And I think a lot of people think that, I
Yeah.
don't know, especially with technology nowadays,
But
everything's so instant.
but could I
We
ask you
can't do it
something?
quickly. You have to work. Yeah,
But
sure.
I will ask you something because that's something I find it very interesting what you said. Because it doesn't have happen quick, so they lose interest sometimes. I agree with you.
Mm,
I agree with you. But I can also
hmm.
say when you look at color, sorry to say that, I find like when you look at
No, no, go,
color,
go.
it always takes too long. And that
Yeah,
it shouldn't be right.
yeah, yeah.
Because you know what? I feel if you look at somebody like I've seen many more people not from color finishing education, getting a place, getting this, getting
Mm,
that. And it just looked like I don't want to say they have it easy because I believe like everybody has their own problem in their own ways. But when I look at the majority of communities, especially Black communities, they already have internal struggle at home, economic struggle. They cannot
mm,
afford a
mm.
lot. Public housing, then they go out, they do the school. So they have so many things that is hard on them already. Plus, if you have a talent, it needs to take so much extra, you know? So,
Time. I'm
so
time on top of all the
you
others.
understand? Thank you.
Yeah, yeah,
If
yeah,
everything was, think
yeah.
about a world where if everything was fair for everybody at the same way, we wouldn't be here. Because
Mm,
if I see a talent in you, I will say, you know what? Wow, you can sing. You're amazing. Come with me in the studio. Make some. Oh, wow. Let's train. Let's train. If
mm.
I know that you're going to be talented, I will invest in your time. And when you're talented, we get what we is
We share.
you can
Yeah,
start from
collaborate and share.
now. But we can start
Yeah.
from now. Rather now, there's always this thing about it takes so long. But sometimes for people of color, it just takes too long. I almost gave up. I
Mm,
never say this, but I
mm.
almost gave up after what's that? Before COVID, I almost gave up. Okay. Because
Uh,
you said I
uh,
took the art direction position and I said, you know what? I will do this, that's it. Let me do a normal work because freelance is not working, blah, blah, blah. Then I said, when COVID happened, I went freelance because I couldn't
uh,
take it. And I said, you know what? I will risk it all. The first 2 months, I wanted to
uh,
cry because nothing happened. I didn't hear from nobody.
uh,
Then the third month, the first job. Then the fourth month, two jobs. Then three jobs. Blah, blah. And then everything together. Then the Asian, then the this. So it was meant to happen for me. But everybody around me in my same circle have always done so straight here, big company here, big. And
yeah.
then you're like, wow, that's
Are they people
crazy.
of color,
Because
or just out of
not
interest? Are
them.
they? Mhm.
People of color, like maybe one, is rare. For me, it's very rare. The only people I
Right.
know, they're maybe in South Africa, but they're not in Europe. So I will say, like, when you go
Uh,
outside or you go Africa, is a big, how do you call it? You have a lot of artists in Africa, but I think the very good, talented artist is very niche still.
uh,
So let's say somebody in Nigeria, now Nigeria is big for Afrobeats and everything, no? So you have a lot of
Afrobeats, the
people
music.
trying to
Yeah.
do music and stuff like that. But let's say
Mm,
you have this amazing artist in Nigeria that he just do this particular style. Oh my God, it's amazing. You will have this company, they will always work with that niche group of artists they have. Rather
mm,
here in London is
mm.
already competitive because you already have too many artists, too many people from everywhere, too many styles to look at, too many.
Everywhere. Hmm.
There's just too much. So that's what I think. The city is a struggle, but at the same time, I just feel like opportunity should be fair for everyone. Because if you gave opportunity earlier in life, earlier stage of life to a child, that child will embrace it and he will come like
Mm,
2025, like with a big solid, I don't know how to say it, I just had
Yeah.
to work too much. But that sometimes it
Yeah.
drive me where I am today. I had to work so much night, and people will be like, "Oh, David, but
Mm.
every day you post something." I'm like, guys, I need to, but
Yeah.
till
You
today
need to
I'm
keep
doing like
going. You need to
this.
keep going.
But you need to
Yeah.
be relaxed sometimes when you have
Yeah.
it. But sometimes I
Yeah.
just feel
Yeah.
this constant feeling of maybe I'm not a good enough. Maybe I cannot do it. Maybe all this pressure in life have built me in a way that now I just work too much sometimes. When I should switch off, I'm still up. Many
And you're
years
still
I
working.
just sleep like 4 or 5 hours every day. And people are like, David, but
Wow.
that is not healthy. But now this became
Yeah.
my routine. So it's weird. Even the bad things have shaped me the way I am today. But
The
it
way you
gave
are
me good
today.
qualities as it gave me a lot of things that are not good in life, but I'm just used to it. So
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
crazy. It's a balance.
It's a balance, yeah. And you must have a lot of balance now, especially with your family, young family. Thank you so much for your time again. Honestly, I really appreciate
Don't
it.
worry.
And I hope the listeners do too. I was just going to ask about your work. And when you were at the Adobe events, you showed the Sphere in Las Vegas. To
Yeah.
me, that would, and it was for Martin Luther King Day. Was that one of your proudest moments, or have you got another proudest moment of your art, your illustration
I
career?
would say proudest because I think it's the biggest display you can have. Literally. It's like
Yeah,
the
in Las
biggest
Vegas.
display. No, but Las Vegas doesn't matter. But I was just excited about that thing is like a massive building. I've not been there live, but if you look at
Hmm.
how tall hotels and casinos are compared to that thing, you'll be like,
Yeah,
wow, that thing is huge. You can see it from far
yeah.
away. It's just like in the sky. So I was very proud of it. But don't get me wrong. I feel like not everybody got the message about the concept because then when I was as an artist, sometimes you look at comments to like them, to be like, oh, thank you guys to share. But I felt like a lot of people they gave a bad review on it because they didn't really understand what I was trying to say in the message. And this is the thing that
Oh, really?
sometimes brought, I had to stop looking at comments, otherwise I would have
Hmm.
flipped out. But it's just weird because
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
thing is like a lot of people took it like a psychedelic journey mushroom trip because it's my style is look psychedelic, yeah. But then there was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
you put the panther in the head, this is devilish. So they really read
Oh
it
my gosh.
very wrong,
Wow.
no, because I
Yeah,
interpretate the word I have a dream,
yeah.
but that is the dream
Yes,
of
I saw
me,
that.
not of Martin Luther King. The head was me, unleash your inner beast. When I say unleash your inner beast, people always think, oh, beast, it must be the devil. I'm very religious, yeah. But when I
Yeah,
say
yeah,
the
yeah.
inner beast, it means all the power you have, unleash it to the world. So when people see that, they don't really connotate to my journey or what I try to say. They just judge based on what an image tells them. It's good, freedom
Mm,
of
mm.
interpretation. But I think when you do something so big and you have so much, there was a lot of people cheering up, but there's also this side of people that uh, did it ever happen in your career that you had some?
Negativity. Yeah,
Yeah.
so negativity, I'd say, no, I wouldn't call it as negativity. I call it as feedback. When I
Okay.
launched my website after many years of not having a website, I put it on LinkedIn and somebody
Hmm.
commented, said, oh, you should have done this or you should have done that, but in a slightly negative way. Whereas I had like lots of nice comments and I was just like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
What else? It's
Yeah.
how I saw it and how I wanted it to be. So it's still like that right now, but I didn't change it. But thank you for your comments.
Yeah. Can I mention you
um,
one thing that happened to me, Angela?
yeah, sure, sure.
The one time I did an illustration, because I said I'm very spiritual, yeah. I did a post about, it's weird to say that. I did a post about the devil and I wrote, the devil is a lie. He's a deceiver. And I created an illustration of the devil, but with a title, he's a liar. He tried to tempt you by telling lies. Okay, that was the concept, yeah. Back in my days when
Yeah.
I was a kid, the pentagram, the
Oh,
pentagram is
yeah.
the star with the devil head in the middle, whatever. I didn't know. Back in the
Yeah.
days, the star of Israel, so the Jewish star. Okay, back in the days, if you
Mm.
look at many movies iconography or whatever, the inverted triangle was the religious one, but then you have symbolism about 666, but was the same symbol, okay? And in my mind, I will never ever, listen, I will never ever insult nobody with religion, yeah? But in that moment, when I draw it from a memory of a horror movie that I saw, and that pentagram was there, and I showed the person that then gave me trouble that it existed in history. They just change it in a different term in time and they make it a star. Can you believe that when I posted that, clients call me, people called me, what happened? I have threat messages, people I work for.
No.
They reached out to all my contacts. Don't tell me how. Don't, and me, I just wake up after the post that I did something to say the devil is. The whole thing flipped, and I was like, guys, are you joking? And people calling me, I replied, I fight people on the phone left and right because you know what? I shouldn't have paid attention to them. What made me very angry, I'm not that type of person. And then one mistake
in that one comment, that one thing.
But I swear, I could. That's why sometimes it's like, I will say, don't always listen to people because if they're not in your space, same mindset, they will never get it. And no matter how much you explain it, they will just let you look like the villain, even if you're not the villain. So sometimes you just have to drop it. I had to go to, I think, a girl. And it's funny because she contacted 5 people of my chat. She literally researched the companies, who to talk to, blah, blah, blah. And then I said, please, can you just call me? And I said, listen, look at this image, I'm not lying. I just did it by head. And look, that imagery is imagery that exists. And she was, yeah, I know, but this is, how do you call it? But please delete it. I deleted it for respect because I don't want to see like that anti-Semitic person or whatever. But if you look at history, how can you, if I tell you, look at that movie, I'm not just talking randomly. I've seen that movie. That was the image that was there.
You know about it. Yeah, it exists. Yeah.
You understand what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's just like when you don't think, that's why sometimes I try to avoid, I used to be somebody very black power, this, that. Sometimes I'm even afraid to post about something that counts to me because I'm afraid.
So it's that you believe in.
The trouble. Because it's not worth it, the hassle. Somebody give an opinion. Immediately, everybody wants freedom of speech, but then nobody has it. Because if you post your mind, we are not the same. So I don't know.
Sometimes I think with those kind of things, especially they always say, I know it's not the same, but they always say don't talk about politics or religion online because that is like one thing that will get people riled up. But there are things that you believe in that you want to say and you want to speak your truth about certain things. But then sometimes I would speak those truths within my circle, my inner circle, not online.
But your circle will understand you because they know you.
Exactly. Because they know me.
So they will see where you're coming from. Yeah,
exactly. So, David, tell me, what's the future for you? And that's a big question, isn't it? What's the future? Is that future with what are the next plans? Who would you like to work with? Maybe pick one of those, I don't know. Or in general, what's your future?
No, I cannot pick who I want to work. There are too many I want to work with. Not like even artists and companies, there are too many. I think I'm not really.
Yeah. Actually, while we're here, go on, go ahead.
Tell me. No, tell me. I'm listening.
I was gonna say, do you think could you see yourself teaching maybe? I feel like you could be an educator.
No, I think teaching will be, have always been something, as I said, for me, the young ones are very important because they are our future. But I feel like there's this, okay, I will tell you, it's simple, so I'm not going to make it long. I would love to teach, but on a later stage in life.
Perfect. Mm-hmm. I understand.
A later stage in life. And I think it's just because I like creating so much that will always lead me away to actually doing stuff. But if somebody will tell me, look, I got these children, I'll be like, yeah, let's do it. Because I feel like they need people like me, people like you. They need examples of themselves.
Representation.
Like, they need people that has been in the same shoes as them to show them there is a way out, there is a different way to take, there is ways to grow. And I think it's very important that I do it, you do it, because when they see people that they can put themselves, he's like me, he's exactly like me, he had the same situation,
Yeah.
then it's easier for them to actually say, wow, I can believe in that. It can be done, because you need more people like that in any area, music,
Anything in career, in your in stages of life where children want to, or teenagers, young adults want to, or even adults want a new change, a new path in their career. It's like going into a boardroom in a company and you want to see somebody that looks like you there, don't you? It's,
no,
you just
it's true.
You don't want to be.
It's just because it sometimes sounds weird, but if you walk in a room, and there's nobody like you, it happened to me many times, the interaction is very different, okay? You'll be like, hello, hiya, like this. Well, rather, when you see your people, it's funny, but it's, my brother, how you go? There's a warm welcome every time you go. Like, it's just, even if it's loud, welcome, my brother. It's just break the ice immediately. It's funny, like I've been to many Adobe events, and I remember when they did Adobe Max, they invited a lot of proper black guys from France, I was like, guys, where have you been? Like, everybody started laughing. My brother, hey, ça va? But then we start laughing, and everybody look at us thinking they're so loud. But it's a beautiful thing
It's a lovely thing.
to see somebody like you, because I don't know, it encourages you, it gives you more, I don't know.
And you just, I don't know, before you're like this, when you walk in, you're like that. And then when you like see people, you're like, I'm cool.
Yeah, very relaxed.
I'm sorry, I just did an action. Sorry, people are listening. I just did a video action where you tense up your shoulders, like maybe walking into a room, then you like relax your body when you see somebody that you make eye contact and you look at them like, oh yeah, cool, you're all right.
Because believe it or not, but me, when people say, let's go make networking and stuff like that, let's network, we go in a room, like, I'm the guy that I only talk with people that are similar to me. And it's weird because we will be the most awkward in the room all the time. And that awkwardness. Hey, how you doing? I'm good. Yourself? Sorry, but I'm a bit shy. Me too. And then we have the best conversation ever. But it's always like
I bet you swap numbers afterwards. And I bet you some details
everything.
afterwards.
But it's funny, but a room where there's a lot of people similar to you, not only in look-wise, but even character-wise, is really important. That's why having a diverse room can give you the best outcome. Always the best outcome. Yeah.
And just share and bring each other up, definitely. Hopefully, I think you might have told me some of this, but just to say, just ending on a personal note to yourself, what advice would you give to your teenage self?
Wow.
Question,
just because I feel like every time is different, because I would say maybe take a breather sometimes. Take time for yourself. Because I think it's sad to say it, but I feel like I spent so much time behind this art, and I feel like it's very obsessive for me. So sometimes I feel like I would have get there anyway, but I cannot know. Does it make sense? So I feel like for me it would be like take more. I would tell to my young one, relax yourself a little bit more. Don't draw every day. Take time for yourself. You know why? Because it's sad to say that when you do it at such an early age, it's good because you don't really feel it on you. But when you're like, now I'm 37, I'm getting into my 40s and stuff like that. But at the moment, I'm exactly as I am. I used to be as a teenager. So always stretch out, always go over the limit, always do. But it's not always good because, as I say, love yourself. Love yourself is very important. But to me, I don't know. I think sometimes life bring you to this place. But if I can say myself something, I would just say, take more time for yourself because it's good. I think I haven't taken off for myself, but I can feel it now. But now I have a child, I have my family, so I just live better in a certain way. I force myself more to, my kid is here, stop it. I'm with my kid at quality time. Let me have a walk with him. So now that I do more quality things, I miss the fact that I didn't do it earlier in life too. Because I was chasing something.
It's important.
And now that I have it, I'm still chasing it. But that is the bad. It's good and bad. Does it make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, it does make sense. I think that's
it's
also
a
a
weird
creative
thing.
mind. It's a
Yeah,
creative mind. It doesn't stop.
it never stop. It
It
never
never
stops.
stops. It never stops. Never stop. I think I mentioned also this. We're going to round up, and thank you again so much for everything. I always do this with my guests. So I've got 5 questions, and you have to say one or the other. So it's just it's a
Okay.
fun 5-fire questions. So crisps or chocolates?
I cannot. I'm a both guy. I like sweet and I like salty. Not together, but
Oh,
right now,
you have to
crisp,
choose one.
crisp.
Crisp. Okay.
Yeah,
Beach or forest?
bitch.
Book or Kindle?
I don't read a lot. You'll be surprised. I
Oh,
don't
David.
read. I don't read.
Okay. Next question. Reggae or soul?
Oh my God, why do you do that? No, no, I can't. For me, reggae and soul is, look, my father grew up with reggae and on vinyls,
Yeah.
but I love soul music, Marvin Gaye, Motown, no, it's together.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's together.
if I want
Okay.
to jam,
We'll say it's together.
if I want to jam and relax and this right now with work, I will put
Yeah.
something because I think reggae just give that extra percussion. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, for me, it's the
And
same
that
level.
beat,
I
that bass
cannot
line.
say, yeah, I cannot say one or the other. But soulful, if I
You're
need to
funny.
work, if I work, I would put soulful music because it's more mellow. So you go in a
Yeah.
mood vibe.
Trance, calm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Okay, last one. Okay, I'm going to make you choose this one. I think you might. Let's see anyway. A patty or a sandwich?
Can the party be meat pie? Because Jamaican and West African, we do it very different. We don't,
I know, you got your pies, haven't you?
the meat pie. No, because my
Hey.
brother always come here and he was like, no, David, we need to go take Nigerian meat pie. And I said, no, we have the Jamaican, let's go it. But every time I bring him to the Jamaican, he said, nah, man, it's not.
What is this?
It doesn't taste like that Nigerian one. It's something missing. I will say patty still, but it's the best thing.
Oh, that's funny. You made me laugh.
Yeah, no, but it's true.
Yeah, true. Thank you so much. Would you tell people where they can find you? Can you tell people where they'll find you online?
Online on Instagram, they can find me on d.okuart. And my website is simply David Oku, my surname, oku.com.
Brilliant. So thank you so much, David, for joining me today. And I really appreciate it, honestly, from the bottom of my heart. And you can tell that you believe in sharing knowledge and karma around the world, I think. So hopefully people listening to this can get some good karma back to them. I'll pass it on, definitely. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me and hope for something better. I hope that people enjoy listening to this and yeah, finger crossed for a better future.
Yeah, thank you so much. Let me start by giving thanks. Thank you for tuning in to Creatives Like Us. I hope you enjoyed this episode and found it thought-provoking, inspiring and entertaining. If you did, it would absolutely make my day if you could share, subscribe, rate, review, wherever you get your podcast from. Also, if you have a question or a comment, I'd love to hear from you. All the ways to connect are in the notes. Until next time, keep being creative like us.